Hello, travel world, and welcome to Experience Travel with Katie and Allie. My name is Katie Lilly, and I am the owner of the Travel Marketplace.
And I'm Allie Schultz, expert travel consultant with the Travel Marketplace. Today we're going to experience travel with Globus Family of Brands, Lori Nojane, and we're going to be featuring their brand new tours. Well, I shouldn't say brand new, but they're undiscovered tours, and brand new is the North American part of their tours.
Thank you, ladies. Thanks for having me here today. And I'm really excited to talk about some of the new tours that we're launching for North America. I really do believe that there are so many places right here in North America, in the US and Canada, that people have never had an opportunity to experience. And, they've always been looking at, maybe I should go to Europe this year, and, North America kind of gets pushed farther and farther down. But I think right now people are going to love the idea and the security of maybe staying a little closer to home when they book their next trip. So I think North America is going to be really right up there at the top of a lot of people's bucket list.
Agreed.
Yes.
And can you just introduce us, Lori, briefly to Globus and to Cosmos?
Certainly. So the Globus Family of Brands is a company that's been owned for, I think, just over 93 years now. We're started by a family in Lugano, Switzerland, all those years ago. In fact, we're still owned by that same family now. So Globus has been around for 93 years. Cosmos is celebrating their 60-year anniversary. Both are fully escorted motor coach touring. The difference between Globus and Cosmos is Globus is kind of our first class, so more centrally located hotel properties, more inclusions, a little bit more hand-holding, whereas Cosmos tends to appeal to a client that wants a little bit more freedom, less things included, more free time, more time to go off and explore on their own. So both excellent escorted touring products, but sometimes they just appeal to a little different clientele.
And if somebody were to be looking for like an escorted tour, why should they pick Globus or Cosmos over some of the other brands?
Well, some of the things that we're known for, so I'll start with Globus because, Globus is so widely known and, has such a great reputation. But a couple of the things that you're going to get on touring in general are, all of your logistics handled. And we do that in a fabulous way because we've been around so long. We have amazing contracts, long-standing contracts with motor coach companies, hotels, and attractions. We feature local favorites on all of our tours, and those are the things that really bring the destination to life. They're exclusive to Globus. Many of our tours themselves are exclusive to Globus, where you could go somewhere, especially on the Undiscovered that we're going to be talking about, and you'll see no other motor coaches or tour groups from North America there. So Globus, and on both brands, probably the number one thing they're known for is the quality of their tour directors. Our tour directors have been with our company, I think, they average like 18 years that they've been with us. And there's no difference in the quality of the tour director from a Globus to a Cosmos. And in fact, they may go back and forth between the brands. But they are all local people who know the destination inside and out. They can deal with the language barriers. They handle all of the logistics. And really, when you're looking at touring over doing some kind of an independent trip where you're going to go and sort of wing it and put all the pieces together yourself, we do all of the logistics. So everything from how you're going to get from point A to point B, what hotel properties you're going to stay in, what attractions you're going to see, what are those local experiences that you need to have when you go to that place. And that's what Globus does for you.
Well, that is great. And all Globus and Cosmos brands are wonderful. But I know today we are going to feature the Undiscovered Tours specifically. So let's take a look at a video and sort of show what clients can expect on these Undiscovered Tours.
Do you remember the joys of hide and seek? The anticipation of peering around corners? The intrigue of an unfamiliar path? The thrill of finding that secret spot? Those shrieks of delight, the pure sweetness of discovery, they can all be had again when you seek out the hidden treasures of the world. The towns with no traffic, the coasts with no crowds, the nooks with no noise. Away from the trodden, the congested, and the expected, we invite you to put down the guidebooks and pick up an accent instead. To trade the lines for limoncello and the chaos for the catch of the day. Traveling from cliffs to caverns and volcanoes to valleys, you'll find secluded shores, sun-washed cities, and moonlit bays. Places to delve into the stories of mythical heroes or take in the wonder of living art. Paths to walk in the footsteps of poets or jump in the footsteps of Olympians. Waters to dip your toe in the past or make a grand splash right now. From the colorful parks of Croatia to the whitewashed isles of Greece, the villages and vineyards of Italy to the moors and meadows of Great Britain, our undiscovered itineraries go where other tour operators don't and allow you to spend days where cruise ships only spend hours. We lead you off the beaten piazzas and down the cobblestones less traveled to discover the unspoiled, the unexpected, the unchanged, and the unsolved. The wonders of the world are hiding. It's time to open your eyes and go find them. Discover the undiscovered with Globus and Cosmos.
Okay. I love the off the beaten path things. When I travel, I like the, I mean, the tourist stuff is great. And for instance, you go to Rome, you have to see the Colosseum. You got to see those things and they're fabulous. But the off the beaten path and sort of seeing how people live and the things that people that are not well known and are not heavily advertised, and seeing those places are nice. And especially because for me, I love them because there's not a ton of tourists and you don't have to worry about all of that. So,
Exactly.
you know, in addition to those things, can you tell us a little bit that what makes these undiscovered tours really special and unique from the other tours that you have?
Oh, absolutely. Well, you know, it's funny. We started our Undiscovered series 3 years ago now, and we started it in Italy. And we really felt like, you know, all of the big tour operators were taking the people to the most, you know, important sites: Rome, Florence, Venice, top attractions. But when they wanted to go back to Italy and they wanted to really dive into the culture and the experience, there weren't tours that could take them there. So we created our Off the Beaten Path. And so we've got those tours in Italy that go down into Sicily or into the Italian lakes or down into the boot of Italy, and bringing people to some different areas. And it was hugely successful. So the next year we did Undiscovered Britain. And it was the same kind of thought process. People had been to London, they'd been to Edinburgh, they felt like, okay, I've seen Britain. And there was so much more. So we created those. This year, we're actually about to launch, when we start traveling, our Undiscovered Mediterranean. And this was getting people into those smaller Greek isles, getting them into smaller towns in Turkey and Croatia especially, and a lot of areas along the Mediterranean. So, you know, we're still waiting for those to start operating, but again, sales for those have been great. And this year we launched Undiscovered North America. And, you know, I look at myself, I'm a traveler like all of you guys are, and I haven't been to some of the most famous places right here in the US. I've never been to a national park. I've never been to certain parts of Canada that you're like, how can you never have seen some of these things? And that's what these tours are going to do. They're going to take you not just to the main places. I mean, if you want to go and do the music cities, you can go and do that in the Southeast, but you might want to do a tour that's going to include a little bit more than that, or get you into parts of Canada, especially, that can make you feel like you are traveling in France when you get into the French-speaking parts of Quebec and Eastern Canada. So these tours are going to take you places, many of them no one else is going to. We just honestly launched them today, so this is all brand new, but it's very exciting to see some of the new tours.
Well, I think that those are great. And I love, one of my favorite things in Italy is the Tuscan countryside. And you know, I was in Greece last year and seeing some of those really small islands, like you said, the Greek Isles. I mean, it's spectacular. And in the North America, what you said, I think it's a lot of people don't like, you know, they go and they see Asia and all these other countries. And so much of the United States and Canada, we don't see. And
Yep.
such a fantastic country with so much to do and so much to see. As somebody I'm from San Francisco, so I've traveled all throughout the United States, but as a child. And it's funny, Katie and I were talking about it the other day, like, this is gonna give us that opportunity, I think, to explore more of the United States and seeing some of these places that really are incredible, that, we want to go to Europe, or we want to go to, Thailand or something, which again are spectacular destinations, but we miss so much of what's in our own backyard.
Yep. So true.
And I think that some of these, and I looked at your itineraries, and I know it's brand new, so it's brand new to everybody and everybody's still learning, but some of the itineraries, I know you're doing Arizona and Vegas and New England, and New England and New York City and a lot of those other places, which I think is going to be really neat, and seeing places that you wouldn't necessarily see if you're just, going to Boston or something. You're going to see other places.
Exactly. And like the one you were just talking about, the one that does the Hudson Valley, and you do the ferry crossing over to Lake Placid, and you go and see, the Olympic Center. You go into Vermont and you get to see how they make maple syrup and do tastings. And, we'll take you up into Canada, where you'll go and maybe you've never tasted real French poutine before. But you'll get to do that in Montreal, or go and taste cheeses at a fromagerie up in Quebec City. And it's all those little experiences that are really what make touring so much fun, because you're going to come home and all the logistics are going to be perfect, but you're going to remember those places that you went and you met a lighthouse keeper at a lighthouse who talked about how they live, or you're going to see species of whales off the coast of Canada that very few people have ever been able to see. So I think the experiences that they offer is what really makes the tour so fascinating.
I'll agree with that. The experiences, those are the things that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. So I will agree with that. And I think I'm excited for these tours.
Yeah, me too. As I was reading them, I'm like, I don't know which one I want to do first. I had lined up going, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. And again, we think of U.S. as just the national parks, which, believe me, we do an absolutely fabulous job on our national parks tours, on both Globus and Cosmos. But this, you're going to go down into the southern part of California, not just go to the wine regions of California. You're going to get it down into like the Carolinas, but going to like Biltmore Estate, and going to Asheville, and going to Chattanooga, and little cities that are so up and coming and have so many cool things going on, but you wouldn't necessarily just go take a trip to them. So when you do all these cities together on one tour, you're going to get to see so much.
Agreed. Yeah. And it is nice when somebody else is doing the driving.
Absolutely.
Because I can tell you, we my boyfriend and myself, we actually did Arizona last year for my 40th birthday. And we did Sedona and Flagstaff and the Grand Canyon. And it was amazing. So I know a lot of people want to do it, but a lot of people don't want to do the drive because it is a lot of driving. So it is nice to have somebody just sit back, enjoy the whole entire thing, right, and not have to worry about, driving from place to place.
Well, because when you're driving, you're not really seeing the scenery. You're not seeing the local sites. The other person's navigating, so they're not really seeing either. And this, you get to enjoy all of that. And it's very stress-free. And I think right now we could all use a little stress-free vacation.
Absolutely.
And Lori, I do have another question for you. Is Globus and Cosmos family friendly? Can anybody go on these tours?
Absolutely. In fact, as with this new launch, we've now lowered our minimum age on our Globus and Cosmos touring brands to 5, because what we're really finding is that families want to have these experiences together. They don't just want to go to, an all-inclusive resort and sit on a beach. They want their kids to see and do just like they are. So I think with that minimum age being lowered, I think you're going to see a lot of families traveling together. You're going to see grandparents taking their grandchildren on a tour. So I think it really opens up some whole new possibilities for families.
It definitely will be nice because I know we do get a lot of requests for multi-generational families that want to go away and do stuff, but it's usually the grandparents, their kids, and then, you know, their children. So it would definitely be nice to be able to have some options for them.
Absolutely.
Agreed. And Lori, can you tell us about the new safety protocols that the Globus Family of Brands has come out with, and also a little bit about the Peace of Mind travel plan?
Definitely. So we've put together a whole list of protocol as far as how we are going to go about keeping our guests safe, keeping our tour directors safe. And one of the really nice parts about operating in North America is that, you know, we're going to have the places that we go and the things that we see are going to have the same kind of protocol of what we expect. So we'll be doing social distancing, and, you know, that's going to be on the motor coach and in the hotel properties that we stay at. We'll be taking smaller groups out at a time. So whereas you might have had a guide who took 20 people at once, now we might be having that guide only take 10 people at once. Everyone's going to have wireless headsets available so that when we're somewhere and we're listening to the tour guide talk, we're not all clumped together, you know, trying to hear what he's saying. Everyone will have individual headsets. We'll be sanitizing luggage, and you don't handle your luggage. So that's one less touch point. So your luggage will be sanitized. It'll be handled for you. You will not have to check in and out of a hotel property. So you won't have any kind of a touch point when you're at the hotel property. Let me think what else. We have a whole list of things that we're doing. And of course, cleanliness. I mean, we've always had super clean motor coaches, but, you know, we're going to go even beyond that, you know, between every guest as we stop to sanitize and clean the motor coach, provide hand sanitizers to everyone on the motor coach, as well as in all the hotel properties and anywhere else that we're stopping along the way. And everywhere that we visit and everything that we do are going to have to agree to the same types of protocol, you know, if they want us to utilize their properties and their attractions. So it's going to be across the board. Everyone's going to have to maintain that social distance, that cleanliness, and that commitment to safety in order for us to operate our tours there. And
Lori,
the peace of mind.
can I ask a really quick question? I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off. I just have a question for sanitizing the luggage. So when you're going from, you know, place to place, is that luggage going to be sanitized at every location?
They'll spray the luggage in between. So when they bring your luggage down for the motor coach, they'll sanitize it. Same thing when you get to the next location. So, you know, that kind of thing will be available to make sure that, you know, we keep everything clean that's being handled.
Wonderful.
And you also asked me about the peace of mind. And I think this is really critical right now. It's very hard for people to plan what's the future look like for travel? What's it going to look like in 2021? I want to go somewhere, but what happens if I book something and then something changes? So with our peace of mind for our 2021 tours, you can book, and up until the time when you make your final payment, you can change your destination, your tour, your departure date, you can cancel, and there's no penalties. So it's okay to look ahead. It's okay to get something planned and to start booking something, taking advantage of all the promotions that come with a new launch, and not feel like you're going to be locked into something that you don't have any flexibility with.
That's definitely good to know, especially in times like these that we've been going through.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Lori, for joining us again today. And thank you, everyone, for experiencing travel with the Travel Marketplace and Globus Family of Brands. If you have any questions or would like any additional information on Globus or on any of the Cosmos tours, please feel free to reach out to us at the Travel Marketplace. Until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep dreaming about your next travel experience.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.